Hey everybody, good evenings, like they say. I've been checking into all this. I was digging into a lot of the news that's, it's so much stuff that's happening. And I'm really focusing on here, right? I'm not focusing my energies like everywhere around the world. Now, there is one story I am going to tell y'all about that isn't happening here, but it is associated with us. Okay. So just want y'all to know that there is at least one story that I'm going to talk about that's not happening here, but it's related to us. But I want to start off with a quote that I found today from Mahatma Gandhi. He says, "The world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed." That's some real stuff. There's some real stuff. It's a lot of greedy people, but it ain't enough. Like I told y'all, hey, Kevin, I told y'all rich people want more. So they're always looking to get more, because they're never satisfied with enough. Enough is never a setting that they want to stop at. They always want more, okay? I'm going to put this up because I saw this earlier and I said, this is a conversation we can certainly have and certainly need to have. They keep saying, immigrants are robbing you. Well, 2 of them are immigrants, and the other 2 are children of immigrants. So maybe there's something to it somewhere else, but not in the way that we think. The rich ones are getting us. You get it? It's not who you think it is. It's not the regular working class immigrant that's sucking you dry. It's these people here. I'm gonna even talk about something that Jeff Bezos is doing again. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about that. Amazon is shutting down all its Amazon Fresh stores, like all of that, and all of the Amazon Go locations nationwide, all of them. They're just shutting them all down. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Amazon is shutting down all Amazon Fresh and Amazon Go locations nationwide. It's a total of 72 total locations. And they're going to shift to Whole Foods Market and doing grocery delivery through Amazon.com. See, again, this is about making money, see? So this greedy fuck is going to do whatever he got to do to continue to make as much money as possible. Those are jobs that are now gone, right? Those are a lot of jobs that are gone now from those communities. Why? Because this guy wants to make more money. It's really important for him to do that. Okay? Very important. Right? Just so y'all know, it says because they want to streamline things. It goes along line with Amazon doing all those other layoffs that they've done, right? Remember? All the other layoffs that they've done? And they said because they want to streamline things. It is about, Heidi, what you looking for? Have a seat. Have a seat. Because I think you trying to do what I think you trying to do. You have to wait for that. I don't think so, but I ain't sure. Yeah, it is monopolies. It is monopolies. Thank you, Eric. I just dig until I find something. I'm like, ooh, that's a good conversation piece. That's a good thing to trigger folks to get them to pay attention a little bit. Because the person keeping you poor is not the working class immigrant. It's rich folks. It's rich immigrants or rich adults who are children of immigrants. But it's not the immigrants that the government and the rich people try to make you think are the ones that are taking your job and keeping you poor. It's not them. It's them. Okay? I told y'all rich people are going to do whatever they got to do to keep their profits high. And if it means getting rid of your job, they will do just that. because your job is not more important than these guys fighting to determine who's going to be the richest in the world. Do you understand? No problem, Alex. I do it because mostly, honestly, a lot of times I do these for the young people. And I don't know how many young people actually come through my lives, but they need to get out of that meme shit. Get your ass off of social media just looking at the dances, trending dances and cat videos and dog videos and shit. Because you're going to be around a lot longer in this shit than I will. It will behoove y'all to pay attention so y'all can do something to change a system that does not work for you. That's the thing that I try to impress upon young people. Like, y'all sitting up here laughing like this shit ain't no game. This shit ain't a game. This is your life. This is why some of you will never come out from up under that student loan debt, because you don't take this shit seriously. If you took it seriously, you could have had student loan forgiveness. And that $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000 a month you giving to Sally Mae, that money could have been in your pocket. It could have been going into a 401k for yourself, for your future. You understand? It could have been going into a business that you wanted to start for yourself. But now you can't start that business. You know why? Because you got all that student loan debt. And since you didn't take the election seriously, did I see AOC going after CVS? No, I didn't see that. I'll check it out in a second. But instead of young people taking it seriously, they're not taking it seriously. They're not taking it seriously at all. And that's a problem. A big problem. Oh, because she's calling out about them monopolizing patient care. I see that. I talked about that yesterday. How CVS them bought Aetna and all these other things. These are monopolies happening. But again, Congress can stop that. But instead, Congress keeps passing more and more legislation for deregulation, not giving us any choices anymore. See what I'm saying? We don't have choices. You either pay the bill or you don't have access. Those are the choices you have now. But a lot of you may not remember, a long time ago, we fought to have choices. And in that time, in that 20 years, 30-year time, y'all done let these people take your choices back. And not only did they take your choices back, you're worse off than you were before we started demanding choices. That's the crazy part. That is the crazy part. I put up a video this morning about Verizon and their cell phones. I remember when folks lobbied hardcore to have, because at one time, your number wasn't even portable. At one time, your number belonged to your cell phone provider. And when you left that provider, you lost the number too. So what did we have to do? What did we have to do? We had to fight for that shit. We had to fight to make our numbers portable so that we didn't have to be a hostage to a cell phone provider, right? In order to keep that phone number. See, Kiara remembers, a whole bunch of people, y'all should, if you're old enough, you remember how that was a thing. You were just stuck. And this is why when you would run into somebody, you say, hey, I called you, but that number didn't work. Oh, I left that carrier. I'm with such and such now. This is my new number. Yep, you're right, Kiara. Phone numbers became PII. They became really important to identifying a person. Then we lobbied, we pressed Congress hard. Then Congress changed the law. This was back when government used to work for you. Government changed the law so that your number could be portable. You couldn't be tied to a cell phone company forever just because you didn't want to change your phone number. I remember those days. Yep, the roaming stuff. See, a lot of y'all don't remember a time when your cell phone provider, you could get 600 minutes for the whole month. 600 minutes the whole month. And then you got free nights and weekends. That's all you got. You didn't get nothing else. You know how we got more? Competition. Competition. But now you've allowed your government to let these companies become monopolies again. So you don't have any more choices. Doesn't matter which company you choose because they're all owned by the same entity. So you're getting the same thing with just a different name on it. But it's the same shit, different day. That's what y'all going to learn. That I see that the US dollar is losing its value. Good. Good. Because nothing changes as long as they keep making money, right? As long as things stay the same, nothing changes. They just going to keep telling you and me, oh, it ain't that bad. They're going to keep on gaslighting your ass like they've been gaslighting you. That's what they're going to keep doing. Now, did y'all know that the government wants ICE to do security at the Olympics in Italy? So now ICE World Police. Why would ICE need to do security at the Olympics in Italy? They don't control no borders there. They don't control no borders there. You know what it is? They don't have enough to do. Government hired too many people. In Trump's quest to pretend and make it look like they was handling shit, they hired too many people. They hired too many people. So because they hired too many people, they looking for work. And Italy said, no, sir, we don't need that. We don't need y'all damn police here. I'm glad they said no. Because why would they? No, I don't mean LA. T1, TW1. No, I meant what I said, Italy. You know, I was talking with some MAGAs early this morning, right? Oh, yeah. And ICE is also doing security and no, they don't call it security. They said the administration specifically says ICE will do enforcement at the Super Bowl. So if you're going to the Super Bowl, be mindful. ICE going to be there. You better take your passport because you're going to have to show your papers. Listen, tease, those files must say such bad shit about Donald Trump. Oh my gosh, those files must be off the fucking hook. You heard me. I had a discussion with some MAGA folks today because I said, the guy says, notice how ain't nobody talking about those Epstein files. I said, well, it's not like y'all care. Republicans don't care. Y'all love PDFs. So of course, the guy comes and he says, hey, Democrats, what about the Democrats? I said, calm down, little tink. Okay, calm down, beloved. Let's focus. We're talking about the Epstein files and Republicans and how y'all like PDFs. So then he comes back, oh, you don't want to talk about Democrats? I said, absolutely. That's why I say release the files unredacted. I said, you should be asking Trump why he's protecting Bill Clinton. Because the guy also said Bill Clinton in those files. I said, well, you should ask Trump why he's protecting Bill Clinton and why he's not exposing him by releasing the files unredacted. And then all of a sudden he got quiet. His keyboard stopped working. He didn't say nothing else. I wonder what happened. That's why I don't listen to these people, child. I don't listen to these people. If I knew where he lived, I'd call ICE, but I don't. But honestly, he's an American, so I shouldn't even say that. Now, I do want y'all to see something. Because I got a couple things we're going to go through tonight. Because then the last thing we're going to talk about is Trump switching up on MAGA and Republicans by not wanting 2A no more. We're going to talk about that in a second. Trump is like Christmas. He's giving us all the gifts. All the gifts. Okay, so we had another unalive event in DHS custody. Okay, just so you know, this young, beautiful angel did not make it through ICE custody. Why? She has sickle cell and she has congenital heart disease. But she could not get access to adequate medical care. That's our government that did that. Couldn't get access to her care. You say broke people, they have money if you go to the Super Bowl. Not necessarily. People save up for them Super Bowls and they buy deals. You'd be surprised. You don't necessarily need a lot of money all the time to go to those places. But just so y'all know, another life has been lost in custody. Thank you, me and you. Another one lost in custody. All because, see, I told y'all cruelty was a feature of the design. Haven't I been telling you that since the beginning? If they're not cruel, well, they don't really want to do it. They don't really want to do it, right? If they're not being cruel, right? They don't really want to do it. Want to do it. But this ain't okay. What's happening? I don't know if anybody will ever pay the price for it, but it's not okay. It's not okay. If y'all heard somebody yell, that was my daughter playing a game. She all the way on the other side, all the way down deep in her bedroom, but y'all heard that yell. I hope that meant that she didn't make it because she want to be so loud. I hope that she got because she was just too damn loud. I said what I said. I said what I said. Now, y'all heard about Kristi Noem, right? How they done moved Kristi Noem down to the border, and Bovino, they done pushed him out too. Y'all saw that, right? Because see, what people forget that are loyal to Trump is there is no loyalty. Soon as you become too much of a liability for him, you out. No, they didn't fire her yet. They moved her down to the border, though. Where they say, nom, 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 nom. They moved her to the border with her ass. What they say, yo quiero Taco Bell. And she down there with that long brunette hair. She better keep that ice vest on so they know it's her and they don't snatch her up and put her in detention. Oh, listen, the fact that her ass got moved down to the border is a countdown on her being gone. Countdown on it. Because apparently the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security, right, and the Tom Hooman guy, they both don't like Kristi Noem's approach or Bovino's approach. So countdown to Bovino going back to his podcast and to Kristi Noem trying to pretend that she wasn't pushed out, because that's really what it is. She's trying to pretend she wasn't pushed out because ultimately she's being pushed out. And I love this for her because she talked all of that shit thinking she was an exception to the rule. What did I tell y'all from the beginning? Didn't I say Kristi Noem wasn't cute enough to keep being insulated from the shit? Didn't I tell y'all that shit? I told y'all. She ain't cute enough for that. She got a MAGA glow up, but they know how she really look. They know how she really look, how she used to have that badass haircut. They know. So it wasn't, I knew her time is running out. I got her quitting, frankly, but she gonna come up with some other excuse why she did it. Right? You're right, Dre Day. They're all cosplaying. They're all cosplaying. Okay? So I love this for her, that the chickens are coming home to roost for Miss Noem. Good. Good. and bovino. Good. Good. Now, there was something else I actually did want to get to before I get to Trump and his 2A shit. I saw a story. I'm going to do a video about this because I would love to see the conversation about it, right? So nearly half of the women in the United States will be single and childless by the year 2030. I'm going to say that again. Nearly half of U.S. women, and we're not talking about the world, they're just talking about the United States, will be single and childless by 2030. And they say it's because of a couple factors. Socioeconomic factors, better educations, their career, and they want financial independence. And I'm going to tell you another reason why. Government. And social media. I'm of American men with that red pill shit. With that red pill shit. And so the young women are going, hey, fuck it, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be alone. He wants submission and he wants me to go 50-50. That's not going to work in America. This is also why American men don't tend to work when they go to other countries. It doesn't work because they go to other countries expecting to split. But women in those other countries, that's not their culture. That's not their culture. Their culture is provider culture in those other countries. Hands down. And that's one of the reasons why, y'all know when I watched that 90 Day Fiance the other way, that's why they be having problems. The men run out of money. The men run out of money. So if you run out of money, you probably gonna run out of favor too. But when I saw this article today, I was like, that is not a surprise to me. Oh, you just started that show? That thing good. I'm on season 2. That thing good. Because it's a train wreck. But the last one I told y'all about financial independence, that did not surprise me. Because a lot of American men, especially if they're traditional and they control the money, they don't want women to be financially independent. They still want those women to be financially dependent on them. They still want that. That's a problem. Because then when that woman has to be financially dependent on you, now she's a child. Right. They want it both ways. It can't be like that. But that's what they wanted. That's what they want. And I'm telling this is the storm. Listen, one of the reasons why your country's so angry, why America is so fucking angry. Look, I say this shit like I don't live here. I live here too. One of the reasons why America is so damn, everybody, the men are so angry is because the women won't just give in. Let me hold on. I can tell you who wrote that article. Hold on, Jersey Rican. Because the women won't just give in and what do you call it? Just kind of accept whatever, lower their expectations. They won't settle. They're pissed about that. They're pissed about that shit. They like, bitch, what you mean you won't settle? What you mean you won't settle? Hold on, I can tell you. I'm looking here. This article was written by a website called Wrath Biotaclan. It's like it's titled Connecting Research to Reality. These were based on studies. So this article was written based on a study. Yep. It's not smart for women to have babies in America. It is not smart. Even if you're married, it ain't smart. Because depending on where you live, you may not have the autonomy to make decisions about your own body if something goes wrong. So it wouldn't make sense to do it. It's extremely risky. Extremely. So if you don't live in a state in which you can make your own decisions, it really ain't worth the risk. The risk does not outweigh the reward, especially when the school systems are shit. You got to worry about the safety of your child in school because the government does not protect your children, in schools or nothing like that. So you got to take all of these things into consideration. Housing is extremely expensive. Food is extremely expensive. Insurance is extremely expensive. It really isn't financially feasible to be a common person anymore to have children. Yeah, childcare is expensive. Everything associated with children are really expensive. It's really not smart to have kids if you ain't got a lot of money. Because your only options is you're either having a lot of kids because you got a lot of money, or you are in abject poverty. And you're in so much poverty, you may not have the education or the resources to prevent repeat pregnancies or having repeat children. Because you can't even afford the basic protection, right? Consistently. I'll say it like that. But the country is okay with you being really, really poor, having a whole bunch of kids, because your poor babies get to go into the prison system or they get to go into low-wage jobs. So either way, rich people win on that. The place is, and what I can also share it on my Patreon too. I'll make sure to share it there too. It's Wrath Biota Clan. That's spelled RathBiotaclan.com. That's where I found this article. I saw it. I was like, wow, that does not surprise me. Yeah, you said the ability for men to not be accountable ended. Yep, it did. But that's why a lot of men don't like women being liberated. Because when women are liberated, they have to be held accountable. Well, if I don't want any accountability, I can't afford to allow you to be liberated so that you will just take whatever trash I give to you. That's the whole point, to lower the expectations so you take whatever trash you can get. So you can say, well, at least he don't beat me. At least he don't starve me. That's not a flex. That is not a flex. Real shit. But that's what this place has become. And then these same guys who can't get women, they get really mad at the men who have figured out how to maneuver this thing and how to deal with women respectfully, right? Because those are the guys who get women, right? The ones who know how to deal with women get them. The ones who don't. And they just become more enraged, more upset. They're asking for too much. She asked me to take a shower every day. Y'all get where I'm coming from? The goal. And when you don't do that, that's when women are asking for too much. You said your mom was so mad that you were picky about your partner. She was like, go back. Nope. But your pickiness was right. When you accept the bare minimum, you're going to get it. I was taught you teach people how to treat you. And so if you teach them that they ain't got to do much, well, they won't do much. They'll do just enough, but not nothing extra. Do you think the WT men that are aggressive and violent are on Grindr undercover? Some of them are, but some of them genuinely have a hatred for women. And I think for a lot of them, that hatred for women starts with their mother. A lot of them have unresolved mommy issues and they need therapy. They need therapy. Damn, not mama wants you to take anybody. Because you know why, Maribel? That's also a lot to have to do with generations. Because at certain times in history, women did take anything because it was about having a man, not the man. You feel me? There's a difference. There's a difference because men were seen as protection. Well, at least I got a man in here. So if something happen, somebody show up and want to get violent, well, no disrespect, but let them get the man. And the woman would just get another one. Think about it. When that man would die, she'd just get another one. They were interchangeable like light bulbs. That's where that saying come in. The best way to get over a man is to get up under a new one. Women just forgot their power. That's what the fuck happened. Women forgot their power and started giving that shit to men. That's what happened. Catch that part. That part. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you what my elders used to say. Y'all heard it before. What one won't do, another one will. See, men try to take that power and say, hey, what you won't do, she'll do. Well, she may very well do that. But I also do things I know she won't. So I ain't tripping. If she gonna do it better for you, go let her do it. Because I guarantee I'll find somebody to do better than you do. I guarantee that shit. They'll be lined up. You see? That's the difference. Women forgot that shit. They forgot. You shouldn't. You shouldn't forget. Yep, giving the cookies too easy. You shouldn't. Anthony says, I love and treat my wife. She needs not the way I think she needs. I understand. You say, I love and treat my wife. I think I get what you're saying. The way she needs to be treated, which is mostly probably better than she thinks she needs to be treated. I think I get what you're saying there, Anthony. You say you're by yourself, Jersey Rican, because I can do bad by myself. Facts. Nobody needs company to be miserable. But, misery does love company too. See, this is the other thing I was taught. I was taught this. Even a miserable ass man, he'll still have a baby with a woman he hates. I'm going to say it one more time. A miserable ass man will still have a baby with a woman that he hates. Hell, they'll marry women they hate. What? Come on. That's not a prerequisite. See, in order for a woman to marry a man that she don't like, he got to have something. That's the difference. You say they spend, hold up, y'all moving so fast. You said they will spend decades, facts, Marilyn. And you said you're right, Jersey. Some do lose their life over their child. Absolutely. Absolutely. What you mean, EP, when you say meaning she knows too much? What you mean? Yep, you're right, Dabu. Oh, I like your name. Hold on, I'm going to say it right. Dabujetto, Ladybug. I like that. You're absolutely correct. It's to humble, take you there, knock you down a peg or two. Show you not all that. No, Noam, see, listen, this is the thing. Even if Noam knew a whole lot, the administration will work so hard to discredit her. It doesn't matter what she knows. Nobody would listen. Liberals wouldn't listen to her because they don't like her. So there ain't nobody listening to that. And conservatives, once she's out of the family, once you've been pushed out the family, you are out the family. It's like being in the mob. Once you're out, you're out. There's no coming back. Once they put you out, once you snitch to the feds, once you tell everybody what we've been doing as a family, you're not in the family anymore. And you can never get back in. So she's stuck between a rock and a hard place, frankly. She really is. Because she decided to tow water for a group of people that have no morals, no honor, and no character. And now she's upside the wall because when they push her out, she really ain't got nobody to tell. because nobody's going to listen. Yep, she did it to herself. Nobody. Same thing happened to her. That's the only reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene is now saying the quiet part out loud. She was never doing that before, but she's only doing it now. Why? Because what other alternative does she have? She has no other way to deal with it. None. Marjorie's out of luck. Oh, good. I'm glad Gavin Newsom's launching a TikTok investigation. And guess what? TikTok has to take it seriously. You know why? California has the third largest economy in the world, and California got some hardcore ass privacy laws. Oh, California got some hardcore ass privacy laws. Mm-hmm. They don't play that shit about protecting the privacy of the residents of California. So I don't blame him. They haven't pushed her out yet, but they pushed her to the southern border, Seventh Wonder. I love that part. I'm sorry that I keep smiling when I say that shit, but I smile when I say it because she was so pressed to tow water for these people. Love you too, Harriet. She was so pressed to tow water for these people, and they done threw her out. They threw out the baby with the bathwater, honey. They said, boo, bitch, bye. And I'm sorry. I love every minute of that shit. It's funny to me. It really is. It's funny to me because they always think it won't happen to them. They all think that shit. All of them. They all think it, but it ain't true. But it ain't true. Now, Mr. President. Okay. Now, did y'all hear what he said this afternoon? What he said today? He said 2A. He said no to 2A. Right? So when I saw that earlier, I said, oh, let me get my ass on conservative message boards, right? I want to see how conservatives are processing this, because they love to talk about the only way you get in my pew is you got to pry it from my cold, dead hands. That's what they all say. The only way is you gotta take it from me, right? So he said that the 2A, the Second Amendment, that, he doesn't think we really need that. Oh, hold on. What is that thing over there? Okay, I see. He said we don't really need it. He says it's unsafe. Can I tell you, I love this shit, okay? I love this shit. So he says it's unsafe. Hold on, I'm going to an article thingy. Now keep in mind the NRA donated a lot of money to Donald Trump. A lot. I told you this man has no loyalty whatsoever. There is no loyalty. Yep, but you're right, Jersey. MVP did say it. But I love it now because now conservatives are like, wait a minute. So I went to some conservative message boards, right? You have some people like, instead of talking about it, they're like, but liberals, right? But then you got other groups that are like, nah, fuck that. I don't like liberals, but I be damned. 2A applies to all of us. And I'm just watching like this. Because I already know only person he's loyal to is himself. That's it. Nobody else. Yes, the chickens are coming home to roost, and it's a beautiful thing. And they're pecking at them thick ass ankles of his. I love every minute of it. What he said, this is Trump's exact quote. He said you can't have pew-pews. You can't walk in, right? Talking about whether or not it was legally okay, whether or not Peretti should have had a pew-pew on him. He had a legal right to have it on him. A legal right. Kitchen. Out the kitchen. You don't have a reason to be in there, sir. Rusty traipsing around looking like he trying to find some. Ain't nothing in there. It's nothing in that kitchen. What you going over there for? What do you need? What you need? Nothing. You're begging. What? Don't be looking at me like that. You're trying to beg with those eyes. I'm not paying attention to that. My family said he was just kidding and needed to give you no. He ain't kidding. He's not kidding. That, you know what? I hope he isn't. Because the first group of people that's going to crash out is going to be conservatives. Conservatives. Now, they say following Peretti's death, Pew Pew writes saying that it is legal to carry pew-pews during protests or while exercising your First Amendment rights. Exactly. So anybody saying, oh, liberals can't do that, I told y'all. That's when they stop doing this shit. That's when they stop. You ain't gonna get them to stop no other way. They stop when you do it too. See, when they think that they're intimidating you with their shit, they do it, and they do it hardcore. But when you show up too, like, oh, you got pew-pews? Shit, we got pew-pews too. Then all of a sudden it's like, wait. Let's calm it down. Oh, now we calm? Oh, now we want to calm it down. Why you want to calm it down? Because you see my ass won't back down. Oh, that's why. So all of this stuff that's happening, man, this is the America that people voted for. Anybody that says that I didn't know is all a lie. They all knew. They cheered for it. They begged for it. And now they're getting it. Now they're getting it. Because of this leadership. And I saw something else. Because of this leadership, millions of Americans are functionally employed. I'm one of them. And you know what a functioning unemployed person is, right? They're loosely attached to the labor force. They're seeking but unable to secure a full-time job. You know why? Because government's all fucked up. And when government ain't operating right, companies get real conservative. You know why? Because it's real expensive to onboard people and then let them go. You come off better operating on a skeletal staff, working them harder than it is. Yep, you're right, Lori. Black Panthers got us. Black Panthers were the reason why America decided to put legislation and rules around owning pew-pews. And again, if you want things to change, liberals gonna have to do the same thing they doing to change the shit. It's no other way. Because these people don't respond to nothing else. You understand? They don't respond to anything else. They just expect you to watch them do it. But when you do it, oh, it's something different. Like you see, Black Panthers, they're out in force in Philadelphia with their weapons. They out there with their people. Ain't seen nothing about no crazy ass shit happening in Philly. You ain't seen shit crazy about Philly. Because it's like you can come into that environment if you want to and try to escalate it with violence. But the people who live in that community are showing you, well, if you want to get violent, we can. Just be mindful. And you know what really scares the government? Black people with weapons. Government be shaking in their boots. Oh, it's black people with weapons. And they're trained, they might use them. I'm just telling you. Will get the government very uncomfortable. Just so y'all know. Wake up, folks. Wake up. At the beginning of this, I'm going to read this quote again. The world has enough for everyone's needs, but not enough for everyone's greed. It's really that simple. Rich people have pushed and taken so much. They not done. They want more. There ain't nothing else to get. But they're so fucking greedy, they're not done. Oh, and I did see something else earlier. You know how somebody hacked and got that list of people that work for DHS, and that list was moving around? Facebook is blocking the access and sharing of that list. Google is blocking the access and sharing of that list. You see how big corporations will work hand in hand with your government to keep you docile, controlled, obedient, where you don't push back. You, Sylvia, you said you an old Mexican lady with several pew-pews. That's right, girl. And you'll handle your business too if you need to. Say someone keeps stitching a video of it on TikTok to keep it going. To keep which one going, Anthony? Stitching which video of it? But yeah, something's got to give, folks. Something got to give. And we're at a critical point. Oh, of the ICE agents. Ah, okay. Yeah, but just so y'all know, Facebook and Google are working hand in hand with the government to keep folks from having access. Hey, Teresa, good afternoon, beautiful. Just so y'all know that. They are working hand in hand to stop that from happening. Now, the morale for ICE agents is starting to drop so bad that some of them are starting to quit, and government's getting concerned because they don't want a lot of them don't want to do the job no more because it's not cool. Make that shit uncool. I even saw a business owner say, after this is all said and done, when I'm hiring for my business, if somebody puts on here they work for ICE, that's an instant no hire. Instant. They're just not going, no interest in that. Why would they want to be affiliated with it? I'm just checking something to see. Now, I'm going to read something to y'all. Remember I told y'all young people are a big part of how we got here too. It was the real young people. Listen to this. This is a Gen Z person talking. This person says, I just wanted to talk about my experience and kind of vent a bit. I don't think I ever felt this sick or embarrassed in my life watching this presidency evolve. Looking back, I really don't know what I was thinking. This is a Gen Z person that voted for Trump. You weren't thinking. You thought the shit was a joke. That's what it was. It was funny to me. What did I say? At the time, the whole woke is bad videos. And that also means lack of education. Because only somebody with a lack of education would find that shit funny when that person's running for president. Ain't shit to laugh about. This is my life here. So none of this shit was funny to me. But anyway, additionally, some of the conservative policies I believe in and still do, I think needed to be taken seriously. But Trump wasn't a serious candidate. Anyway, the main to being immigration reform, like fixing the asylum process, Republicans are not going to fix the asylum process. Trump never said he would fix it. So how could you have voted for him for that when he never said he would fix it? Anyway, and government spending. He grew the deficit the most the first time. What would make you think the second time he wouldn't spend more money? Just listen. It says, however, these policies were dramatically exacerbated under Trump. Everything this guy has done is incredibly authoritarian and unironically, literally 1984. Hey, Russ. Most of my other policies are pretty liberal, but I really did feel strongly for these policy changes, and hence one of my motivators for Trump felt okay with Biden, didn't like the stimulus thing, but most of his policies were good, but he was getting pretty old, plus Kamala came out of nowhere. Let me stop for a second. First of all, Trump is the oldest president we've ever had. 2, Kamala was the vice president, had been the vice president for 4 years, and had been in the Senate prior to that for many years. Came out of nowhere how? I told y'all this person was uneducated. I already knew what this was. I hadn't even read it yet. But I knew this was somebody who lacks education and knowledge. But I bet you couldn't tell this smart fuck anything prior to the election. Because we was doing too much before the election. We were over-exaggerating. Right? Remember that, right? Yep, and Trump sent out a whole bunch of stimulus payments. That helped to lead to inflation. All that influx of money that government infused everywhere. But hey. Then he says, I don't know really. I feel incredibly lied to. Trump didn't lie to you, bitch. I'm going to comment on this shit because he wasn't lied to. He says, I feel incredibly lied to and very embarrassed for my very first ever time voting was for this clown. What did I tell y'all? What did I say? Ignorant with a voter registration card. Ignorant with a voter registration card. That's what this person is. I think I was just being stupid. Yeah, you were. And kind of vibed my vote. You did. And your vibe sucks ass. And I'm really sorry for that. No, you're not. If an election happened tomorrow, you'd vote for his ass again. Going forward, I will definitely spend a lot more time researching the people I vote for. No, you won't, because you don't have knowledge and you don't have discernment. So you're not going to do any of that shit. You just going to gravitate to wherever you go, and you're not going to be able to know what's real and what's not real because you don't have enough education. And he says he's going to research the people before he votes because this is unbelievable. Political protests around my college and hopefully try to make a change. Sit your ass all the way down with that woke protest shit. Your protest was your fucking vote, dummy. And you decided not to. You decided to vote for the person that's doing all the shit he told you he would do, but you thought it was funny. See, this is somebody that still he's still really not taking personal responsibility. And then at the end he says, but yeah, I think I deserve to be clowned for this. Oh, you didn't have to tell me you deserved it. I was going to give you to work anyway. So he didn't really have to say, he didn't need to give me permission. Because when he put this post up, that was all the permission that I needed. Catch that part. Yep, they wanted to that conservatives are being owned instead. Shit's hilarious. Somebody said to him, a little too late now. It's almost like the other candidate told you exactly what would happen. Because Kamala did tell them what would happen. They didn't want to hear her. She was a woman. What does she know? Every time I say that, I always remember a scene from The Mummy. She's a woman. They're led by a woman. What does she know? It's that same mindset. But the woman told them what it was. But they didn't want to listen. Now their poor suffering ass is suffering. Kamala got money. She gonna be okay. Whether America works out or not, she gonna be all right. They were never sticking it to Kamala. They never were sticking it to Hillary, Obama, Bill Clinton. None of them got money. They were trying to help us. But okay. America gonna be America. That's the only thing I could think. America is gonna be America. Now, there's one last thing I saw that is funny to me. It's ironic, to be honest with you. It's very ironic. So I saw a story, right? And this is on agriculture.com. Okay, so this is how accurate. This is how authentic agriculture.com is an authority figure when it comes to farming and agriculture and all of that stuff, right? So they did this article and they asked, who is buying Iowa farmland, right? Because apparently a lot of it's getting bought up, right? And so they're wondering, like, who's buying it, right? So they say farmers are the largest buyers of Iowa farmland by a wide margin, they say for now. But investors who live within the state, they're coming in hard too, right? But then 10% of the people who are buying land in Iowa are classified as other, which means they don't live there. They don't have any affiliation with Iowa. And in Iowa, the auctioneer does not disclose the buyer. There are more and more auctions online, and they don't disclose who the buyer is when they do it online. Okay? Now, I'm going to say it like this. Ooh, okay. We just going to let's go to 2022. In 2022, 78% of the land was owned by farmers and ranchers, 9% by local investors, 9% by out of the area investors, 3% by this 1031 buyer, and a 1% in the other. In 2025, you got 79% of that land owned by farmers and ranchers, 4% owned by local investors, 6% owned by out of area investors, 1% just the 1031 buyers, but that other has ballooned to 10%. Last year, that other was only 2%. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't buying it for data centers, only because I read an article earlier that said Georgia is trying to fight the building of data centers in Georgia to power AI. They're trying to fight it. But the only way they're going to win that is the constituents have to pressure government for it. So listen, y'all. Stay on the phone with your elected officials. Don't forget all the shit I told you this morning about the discussions that are scheduled for tomorrow with your Congress. Don't forget what I told you. Please contact your representatives, email them, call them, do whatever you got to do. Show up at the office, whatever. But let your voice be heard. I like that they're turning Texas. The problem is turning Texas into a data center state. How do they do that with a bad infrastructure for their electrical grid? How do they do that? Somebody's going to lose. Both can't win. The AI data center can't win over the people. Like, it's either the AI data center win or the people win. But both can't win. And Texas being Texas, I got the businesses winning. Happen. You know, and Beach Girl says the 5 Calls app makes calling. You know, our electricity is ridiculous. Musk is trying to revamp. He can't, but see, this is the thing, Gwendolyn. He can't revamp their grid in 4 years. It's impossible. He can't. Just like Trump lies and says factories are being built. No, they're not. And even if they are, they won't get done by the time he's out of office. Just like that big ballroom that fucker wants to build when it's really either. It's not going to happen. That ballroom was just a way for people directly to the president. That $500 million or more, that money gonna come up missing when Trump leaves, if it ain't already missing. Guaranteed. You said Musk also trying to build a hyperloop in a space rocket. That'll never happen either. Not in 4 years. Not in 4 years. When you learn so much about space, you realize if it was that easy, everybody would have done it by now. Musk is not the smartest person on earth. He bought businesses that already had technology. But he wasn't the creator of those technologies. Right? He's just the guy with the money, and he got all these ideas and money to throw at ideas, but that don't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't. Just like anybody says, oh, we're going to try data back here. Even if you did travel to another galaxy, none of our children, our children's children, our children's children's children, or our children's children's children would know about anything that was found there. Even if they could get there. It don't change the fact that time keeps spinning here. Space and time are two. People be lying. They be lying. So I thank y'all for joining me today. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for the 129,000 code of the Straight No Chaser podcast. Will drop tomorrow for the general public, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I want to tell you, for those who are already members of my Patreon, I've already put it up for you. That it's already there. This new episode, I think that you guys are going to like it. I know you're going to like it. This new episode, when the story breaks, unlearning the American myth. Because we've all been taught this propaganda, all these things about our country, and none of that shit is true. The real people get upset with you when you start asking questions, when you start figuring shit out, why people really get upset with you. Thank you so much, The Critic. Listen to this new episode. Thank you, Kiera. Watch it, listen, however y'all do. But I think that you're going to like this discussion. And it's only part one of a two-parter that I'm doing. Because the next week I'm going to talk about something even more on top of that. To build on this. That's going to be interesting. I appreciate you guys being here. Listen, thank you for all of the likes. Thank you. We got over 100 shares here. I'm going to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. I try to do this every live. Number 1, Beautiful Trail. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 2, beautiful user 229. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 3, Wrestler Queen. Thank you, beautiful. Number 4, Beautiful Days. Thank you so much. Number 5, Miss Beautiful Dream Stylist. I love your avatar. That's cute. Thank you so much for being here. And a special shout out to number 6, Handsome Kiera. Thank you so much, Handsome. Thank you to all the mods tonight for your assistance. Listen, it is still nasty out there, y'all. I still ain't even tried to move my truck. I ain't even try because that shit frozen out there. So I just let that shit stay. My husband, y'all know, y'all heard me talk about my husband getting out there. He's still getting out there. I done left Jay-Z sitting there and he just gonna relax. And that's what it's gonna be for now. Yeah, that ice is nuts out there. The worst part of it is trying to take your dogs outside to use the bathroom. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Rusty, earlier today, he just peed right on my floor. He finished eating, he turned around and just peed on the floor. Like, bitch, I'm not going out there. I don't for that shit. Okay? It's cold out there. It's icy out there. I got arthritis. I don't want to go. So I'm going to pee right here. So he did. He did. That's why I was late to the live. Because he did. So then I had to clean all that shit up. Then I go and I take them outside. Then he's like, I decided I think I want to do number 2. But instead of ice, and then he starts sliding all these different directions, and the turds are dropping. I'm hoping he don't step in them, because he did that last night. Okay, he did that last night. So I was hoping he didn't step in them. He didn't step in them, but then he started walking deeper into the ice. I'm like, bruh, if you walk deeper into the ice, then you're going to get stuck. And then I got to try to get you out the ice, and my husband wasn't home at the time. It was a mess, because he had to pee again. This is the story of my life, okay? The story of my fucking life. On top of me coming out here at 4-something this morning and finding a couple of treat turds on the floor. Why? Those were Heidi's. Yeah, those were her. Because she was like, bitch, no, it's cold out there. Yeah, you can clean that up. That's right there. Luckily, I saw them before I stepped in them. Yeah, they are babies, but you know what, Marilyn? They tap dancing. They tap dancing on the nerves today. I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. And this morning, Rusty peed on my deck. Yeah, when I took them outside before he could go down the stairs that I already cleaned off of ice the other day. Yeah, he stopped right there and just peed on the deck. He was like, I think you still got ice on them stairs. I ain't going to look and see, so I'm going to just pee right here. And I can't turn. Ever since 4-something this morning, right? So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to finish work on. And then I'm just going to relax. And nobody better not ask me for nothing. You understand? See, Rusty ain't usually like this about the snow, but it's because it's icy. He's like that about rain. He don't like the rain. He don't like to get wet at all. So he's like a big baby. When it rains, he's like, I'll be like, boy, if you don't get your ass out here. So y'all have a beautiful night. Don't forget, on the 29th of January, that's this week, we're talking about The Mist, the movie. So if you haven't watched The Mist yet, make sure you watch it, because on the 29th, we're talking about The Mist, okay? So I love you guys. You said you're going to go read the Trump edition Bible. Thou shalt cheat on thy taxes. Damn. Damn. Does that become before or after the chapter of that? Thou shalt cheat on thy wife? All of them. And then blame them for it. Because that got to be a chapter somewhere too. And a verse. I would figure. Because he done did that to all of them. Y'all, look, before I go, y'all remember that time Donald Trump took and then he ran into Ivana Trump. They were still married at the time. They weren't even separated. They were like actively married. And he brought his side bae to the ski resort, but he didn't know his wife was going to be at that same ski resort that weekend. Honey, I remember that. Google it. Google it, because the shit was all over the tabloids back in the day. It was all over the tabloids back in the day. I think Trump kind of, now that I look back, Trump knew I was going to be there. He knew. He knew. And then he cheated on Marla Maples with Melania. Ivana took some money, but people don't understand. See, I read Trump's The Art of the Deal. I've read that book. And if you've read that book, you know for a fact, the real reason with Donald Trump's success, some of the successes he had when he was married to Ivana Trump, that was because of Ivana Trump. That was not because of him. Be all over. If I'm not mistaken, she was on Home Shopping Network. Ivana Trump was a very successful businesswoman. I remember Ivana Trump. I remember she had great business sense. Trump is a shitty businessman. But even in Art of the Deal, it's talked about the fact that Ivana Trump ran several Trump businesses that were successful. Shit went to hell in a handbasket when him and Ivana got divorced. Go look it up. You'll find it out for yourself. Trump will try to rewrite history, but Ivana Trump was why he pockets that wife. It wasn't him. He's a shitty businessman. That's why I tell you, it's a lot of information on Donald Trump. He's an old man. He'll be 80. Right. Trump is the only guy I know of that's ever bankrupted a casino because he was probably stealing from it. Just so you know. Yep, he'll be 80 in June. And I wonder if we'll get another sad tide military parade. But listen, I appreciate y'all being here. I love you. Have a beautiful and blessed evening. I will see you in the morning. Don't let nobody live rent free in your head. Don't feed any trolls, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody. I'll see you in the morning. Okay? Be